Are you considering making a move to Crystal River, Florida? If so, I have 5 pros and 5 cons that you need to know before you move here. My name is Gabriel Chiron. I'm a licensed real estate agent here in the Citrus County area. I show property and I help people relocate to Crystal River, Florida every single week. So I have had a lot of experience on what folks think are the good parts and the bad parts about living here. Let's get straight into it. The first thing I want to cover is the location of Crystal River. If you're not familiar with Crystal River, it's on the west coast of Florida, kind of west central. It's about an hour south of Gainesville, Cedar Key area, and we're about an hour north of Tampa on the west coast. That's pretty cool, FedEx truck behind us. So that's kind of where we're at. Folks really like Crystal River for the appeal. There's a lot of nature. We're on the nature coast. Manatees are here, waterfront lifestyle. You have access to fishing, boating. People really, really, really love that waterfront lifestyle, living on the Gulf. That's a huge draw for people here in Crystal River. So now let's get right into it. And another PS, I actually went to school at Crystal River High School, so I really know the area super well. The first pro that I hear from folks about living in Crystal River is, like I said before, just absolutely loving that waterfront lifestyle. If you love boating or you want to have a boat and you want to be on the water and have easy access to get out, boom, you're right there, you're gone, you can do whatever you need to do. If you love scalloping, you just love hanging out on the water with the family on the weekend, maybe you want to go deep sea fishing, you want to go paddle boarding, whatever you want to do, kayaking, the waterfront lifestyle is just absolutely beautiful, amazing. A lot of people will just, watch the sunset at their backyard. A lot of folks will have a barbecue in the evenings, do all kinds of things, go fishing from their backyard. Some canals even back up to springs and clear water, so you can just literally hop right off, your back area and then just right off your seawall and go swimming, which is super cool. Another pro that folks really love about living here is that it's the home of the manatees. Manatees are what they call sea cows. They're like these big, cute, gray globs with little flippers and one big paddle in the back. And they come here half the year. They migrate, they breed here. So you can actually go and see them. There's maybe like 50 to 100 at a time all together. And they're a huge draw. They bring a lot of tourism in the area. And it's super good for if you have a local business or you want to have a local business in the future. Tourism and a big part of that waterfront lifestyle here in Crystal River is that draw of manatees, and people really love the nature. They love seeing dolphins. If you live out near Kingfisher, then sometimes you can see dolphins in your backyard, and that's super, super cool. So another pro that people have about living here is the outdoor recreation. That kind of ties right into the waterfront lifestyle, but it goes beyond that. We have lots of nature trails here, state parks, opportunities to hike, opportunities to kayak, go tubing down rivers, go fishing, explore the caves in Lecanto, all kinds of things. Nature is a giant part of Citrus County and the Nature Coast all in general. So if you're an outdoor enthusiast and you love riding bikes, like we have the Withlacoochee State Trail for you, it's 41 miles, go ham on it, do whatever you want to do. It goes all the way from Denellen, all the way past Floral City. So outdoors are a really big thing here. And you can play sports all year round because it's Florida and we really only get cold maybe 10 days out of the year, truly, to where it's unbearable or you don't want to play sports in it. So people come down here, they play baseball or basketball all year round, so that's super neat. Another thing is that small town coastal feel, I hear people say. So they really love the vibe, especially of downtown Crystal River. They love those little boutique shops, the waterfront tiki bars, the waterfront dining options, all the festivals that they have, the Manatee Festival, the Stone Crab Jam Festival. All these things give you that small town coastal feel. And if you're looking for that, and this is a perfect place for you, I know a lot of folks that actually have a second home here in Crystal River and they come down on family vacations. Maybe they have a company and they let folks from the company stay kind of as executives and go there for a week, or they Airbnb it. But it really has that small town coastal feel that draws a lot of people and a lot of people that, have a second home here on the water. And the last thing is that you're in a city without having that big city traffic. So you have everything you need, your Walmarts, your Targets, your Aldis, your Wawas, your home improvement places. We have a wholesale, BJ's Wholesale coming here. You have your shopping without having to wait in these big lines in Gainesville or Ocala where you're going to be stuck in traffic for 15 to 30 minutes. People really like being here in Crystal River because you can get away from all that. if you don't like waiting in traffic, which honestly, who does? The next thing that we're going to move right into is the cons. We have to be honest and talk about what it's not great about living here. So a con that I have is that there is seasonal tourism traffic. So kind of piggybacking off what I said before, certain times of the year it can get very busy, especially when it's a Manatee Festival and the Stone Crab Jam. Sometimes during Christmas with the parades and the fireworks that the city does, it can get a little more hectic when the snowbirds come down. And that can cause a little bit of traffic, just more congestion. And I hear some folks are like, oh man, it's that time of the year. A lot of people are going to be here. A lot of people are going to be on the roads. And that's true. So just keep that in mind. You will have that. Not too big of a thing because it never compares to a place like Ocala or Gainesville. But there is times of the year where there's less people and more people. So just keep that in mind. Another con is the high waterfront property costs. So if you want to be on the water, you have to be able to understand that you're going to spend a pretty penny. Homes can be $700,000, $800,000, north of $1 million, sometimes $2 million even. So if you want that waterfront lifestyle, maybe it's your second home, then you kind of go in understanding that. You have some condos that are on the water that are like maintenance free, and they have homes, communities like that as well. But just keep in mind, if you want to be on the waterfront, you're going to pay a premium for that. And honestly, a lot of folks that I talk to think it's completely worth it. The third con that I wanted to talk about that I hear folks saying is when they come from a bigger city, there's a lot more limited nightlife here. So you're not going to have that, going out to the club or going out dancing every night. They do have like taverns here and bars and local events and things in the historic downtown square in Crystal River. There is some nightlife, but it's just not to the, sorry, my journal fell there that I have all my notes on. It's just not going to be to the extent of a big city, like Tampa, Orlando, or Gainesville. So if you really want that nightlife every single night, then just consider, a bigger city than Crystal River because it is a smaller town. The fourth con is, of course, the hurricane and flood considerations. It wouldn't be a true pros and cons video if I didn't talk about it. You are on the nature coast. You're on the west coast of Florida. Sometimes you get hurricanes and storms. I can say if you were to look at Crystal River on a map, the Suncoast Keys are kind of like a set of islands that eat up a lot of the storms. But you still will, if you have a high category storm coming in, you'll still have a category 2 or a category 1 or a tropical storm by the time it gets there, which is still something to consider. So it's really smart to have your insurance, your flood insurance, your wind insurance, that kind of thing up to date with your home so that you are protected no matter what happens. The next thing to consider is, the flooding. So if you're on a canal, then you could have storm surge with the storms and that kind of thing. So when the hurricanes come in, it'll kind of push it up. So just keep that in mind. And if you're really smart, then you'll get your house raised or you'll get it on stilts. So just keep that in mind when you're buying. And the last con that I want to talk about is the limited job opportunities that I hear people say. A lot of folks moving here, and especially waterfront properties in Crystal River, are retirees. Maybe they're snowbirds. Maybe it's a second home for them. Maybe they have a business, and they have capital where they can spend on a house like that. But if you're looking for, a typical job, just make sure that it's here, that you might be able to find it here in Crystal River or somewhere where you can commute. The commute to Spring Hill or even outskirts of Tampa aren't too bad, maybe like 45 minutes to an hour. Or if you want to drive to Ocala as well, then that can work too. But just make sure that if you are going to continue working, that you have a job that can fit here because it's not a big metro area like in Orlando or Tampa. So you do need to make sure that the jobs you want are available. So let's talk about who Crystal River is perfect for and who it might not be perfect for. It's perfect for people who love that waterfront lifestyle and boating. You can just have your waterfront property, park your boat there. Maybe you have a lift, you have your jet skis, whatever. This is perfect for you because it makes it easy. You don't have to drive all the way out to a ramp and put it off there. Or if you want to be in Crystal River but not on waterfront, then we do have boat ramps like Fort Island Trail and many other places that you can just back your boat trailer up, hit the water and go. Of course, park your car. People who work primarily as fishermen or anglers or crab fishermen, there's a lot of jobs here for that. Also, if you're a cook, you have a lot and you can support that tourism side of things. And of course, you're going to have a job. And like I said, anything that kind of relates into the tourism, it's perfect for people that have those jobs like tour guides, boat guides, charters, that kind of thing. Captains will do really great here. It's also perfect for people who love nature. So if you want to be on the nature coast, you want to be surrounded by waterfront and you want to be surrounded by nature and animals and all that kind of thing, then this is perfect for you, because we really are the nature coast, and everything here really is centered around nature and an outdoor lifestyle. It's really good for retirees. So like I said, folks that, want to enjoy the rest of their time, people who are moving, from a big city, this is perfect for. Maybe they're relocating, they want to be somewhere quiet, they don't want to be in the hustle and bustle of things anymore. This is perfect for you to retire to and just, enjoy your years. Remote workers as well. Maybe you have a job where you're remote working and you want to be in a small town that's quiet and relaxed, then this is really ideal for you, because no one's really going to bother you. And then people who want that waterfront living, this is perfect for. Like I said before, if you want to just enjoy, looking at your back porch and relaxing, watching the sunset on the water, then this is perfect. Who it's not for. It's not for people who need that city vibe, city lifestyle, the city nightlife. We're not going to have that like in Orlando, Tampa, or Gainesville. And people who want to stay away from flood insurance, this might not be for you, because chances are if you're in Crystal River and you're in a flood zone and you get a mortgage, they're going to make you have flood insurance. Now, if you buy it outright cash, then you're not required to have flood insurance. It's always smart to do so, especially if your house isn't raised or on stilts. But people who want to just stay away from all that and the storms, then this might not be perfect for you. And then, of course, people who need that large job market like in Orlando, Tampa, Gainesville, Ocala, then you might have to commute if you have to be in a big city for your work. So thank you guys for watching. If you're thinking about moving to Crystal River or selling in Crystal River, give me a text. All my contact information in the description below. My number is 352-586-2010. I would love to help you guys out. And of course, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss a thing about Citrus County. And I hope to see you guys on the next video.